Hi Aries, this is your general tarot reading for Aries Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of July. So Aries, let's get cracking, let's get shuffling these cards, and one hops out already, Page of Pentacles. You know what we're doing here, we're shuffling the cards and waiting on all the right ones to come out just for you, my love, until we have them all. And in the meantime, we'll talk about the energies. So you're a home bird a little bit as we start this month, Aries. You're enjoying all home comforts, good food, relaxation, being in the Zen zone. Nobody can enter into my calm space. Nobody can enter into my calm space. Well, apparently they can, because at the end of June, start of July, that lovely calm space where you had achieved a sense of Zen was quite rudely interrupted perhaps by some issue that came up within your career, or somewhere wherever you stand out in the public where you have to be responsible, where you're a key figure. It was like, enough with the Zen, come back, you've got stuff to do. And we need it done now, we need it done today. No pressure, just now. Yeah, so it's a bit like that. I do know how you feel, Aries. I have just recently come back from a holiday, as some of you know, and I was in my Zen moment, enjoying good food, lots and lots and lots of good food, nice wine, the whole thing. And then it was like, no, come back, you've got stuff to do. You've responsibilities, there's videos to be made. Yeah, well, I actually enjoy making these videos, so yeah, a bit of pressure, but it's okay. And maybe that's the same for you. It's a bit of pressure, but it's okay. You don't seem to mind. But certainly you've been called up to do something within your career at the start of the month, to step up, step in and take responsibility. Okay, so what else is going on, Aries? We have nice things happening, a lot of stuff going on in the 5th house. So you lucky thing. You had nice moments as we leave June where it was all Zen, chilling out in my zone, staying at home, closing the door, wearing pajamas all day or lounge gear, not letting any of the neighbours see, closing my curtains and just not answering the door, not answering the phone, just recharging, recovering, retreating, and maybe fixing some stuff up in your home. That's what's going on here with the Sun in Cancer that's coming in at the start of the month. It's a lot of focus on your home, doing it up, cleaning it up, tidying it up. Maybe you're just frantic there because it's like, every time I seem to clean this house, I need to go and do it again. How is this happening? Do I have goblins or fairies in my house? Who knows? Maybe you do, Aries. But either way, it's a nice energy with the focus there on your home life and feeling happy and secure at home, while still trying to balance everything in work too. For some of you who work at home, there may have been a bit of a chaotic moment between your work life and your home life, but that will resolve anyway. So yeah, a lot of energy, Mercury, Venus, and then the Sun later on in the month, all in your 5th house. So you have to take your pajamas off now, take all those comfy clothes off and get out there and party, because it seems that July is a month of celebration. Well, it's, July is Cancer's birthday and Leo's birthday. Maybe you're going to their birthday parties. Either way, you are destined for fun this month. And you're also destined to remember why you do a lot of the things that you do in your life, Aries. If you've been met with stress in your career, perhaps, or in any other way, do try to remember to stay calm and keep trying to do things from the heart, because the 5th house is very heart energy. It's where we get our bliss, our joy, our happiness. So all this month, well, you'll be absolutely recovering and basking in the sunny July glow of joy, parties, games, fun, getting creative again, and doing everything with a sense of pleasure from the heart. So that's quite nice. You lucky thing, you'd all that quiet time at home, cooking and eating nice food, taking care of things at home, and now suddenly the next step is that you're out having fun and partying. I mean, what's that all about? Maybe you're just bored of being at home now. Now you need the party. Either way, it's going to be very, very, very nice, very pleasant. So What else is going on? We've Jupiter going direct in Scorpio in your 8th house. So you might be feeling very, very lucky when it comes to dealing with some maybe financial issues like taxes, dealing with a bookkeeper, dealing with the bank, with institutions, lending institutions like government, financial institutions, all those things that we don't want ever to really deal with. Long-term investments. 8th house is mining, so if some of you are Bitcoin mining or involved in cryptocurrencies, this is where luck might turn for you. Can't promise that. Don't come back to me next month and say nothing happened with my cryptocurrencies. This is not the channel for that. Maybe I'll do something else a different time, but not today, baby. That's your last card, actually. But it is all about really getting it together with your long-range finances, getting your bank accounts sorted out and things like that. And it seems like you'll get kind of a lucky break. If you've really been wondering where your long-range money is going to be coming from, Aries, this month it begins. You begin to see it expanding. You begin to see a plan coming together that will kind of go into your future, that will bring a long-term financial plan into your future. Not bad, huh? Not bad. What else do we have going on? The new moon mid-month around July 13th happening in your 4th house of your home. And what you might find here again, it's this issue this month, Aries. I know I was teasing earlier on, but there is a kind of, I want to stay at home, and then on the other side, I have responsibilities. I have to go to work. So it's work, home, and trying to find a balance in there. Now, what the new moon will do, it's also a partial solar eclipse. It will show you maybe how you can do that, how you can work from home, or how you can do some of your work from home, maybe take a part-time job that involves you spending more time at home and less time focused on your career, or less time standing out in the spotlight and other people celebrating you. And it could be a situation, you know, with the activity there, that you could be designating a part of your home for work. You might see a little small corner somewhere and say, well, that's an empty space, clear it out, put a desk in, this is now my workspace. Either way, you're taking it seriously, the balance between your work life and your home life. And you'll find it, because you'll get some insights around this new moon partial solar eclipse in how to make that more beneficial. It seems you may have been veering too much on the work side and possibly neglecting your home life a little bit. So the new moon will show you how you can really bring that into balance. For some of you, certainly it could be an opportunity to move home. It could be an opportunity for you also to just find your roots a bit more. Finding roots, I mean, looking at your ancestors, getting power from your ancestors, drawing magic from your ancestors, getting back in touch with, how would you say it? How would you say it? It's this feeling, Aries, that you've been so preoccupied with your work that you've lost touch a little bit with what home is supposed to mean. Maybe what your family is supposed to mean. Maybe you haven't been calling your family. Maybe you haven't been visiting them or neglecting them a little bit because you've been working so hard. So you're going to get to see how that affects you, and because you see it, you then get an opportunity to fix it and balance it and do all of that. We do have Mercury retrograding in the 5th house, so it's again reminding you to go back a little bit and have more fun. Yeah, but also to go back a little bit and to remind yourself why you do the things you do. You do them because you love them. And why are you with the people that you're with? You're with them because you love them. So it's just a little wake-up call in that area, okay, Aries? It's not very dramatic, you know, but it is something you need to know. Now, there is the big lunar eclipse happening this month, at the end of the month actually, in your 11th house of your dreams, your desires, your hopes and aspirations for the future. And I know you're running fast towards your future, Aries. We've talked about this how many times now? And your career and so on. We know. But it's a moment, it seems, where you're running towards your future, but it's like the avenue that you're running towards suddenly closes and a new one opens. It's like, for example, if you had what would have seemed like a big dream when you started maybe doing some of the projects that you're doing, particularly in your career. If you had a vision, this is where I want to be. Apparently that's not big enough. Apparently it's not grand enough. Apparently it doesn't give you the independence that you need. Work life, home life, work life, home life. So it's with this sense of independence and rebellion, yeah, that you want to choose a slightly different future path. You're still going full steam ahead into the future. You're still building your career. You're still taking your responsibilities seriously. You're still going. But it's with now a sense of, whoa, okay, I'm this far, maybe I can now go this far. You're making it go further. But like I said, before that can happen, you may experience a little bit of a crisis where it feels like your future plans and dreams are meeting a dead end. And the reason is, Aries, is because they are. Because you've gone as far as you can go with that dream. Now you have to dream bigger. Or at least expand more. Get a better handle on what you really now need for the future. Because you've come a little bit since you started your dreams, your plans and your desires for your career, which really kicked off around December, January of last, just gone. And now you're saying, okay, I need to just shift this up a little bit and go in a slightly other direction, because it's something to do with truth. Doing things from the heart and doing things from a place of absolute truth. And absolute truth can sometimes look a lot different to normal truth. So maybe that's what it is. You want to do something very individual, very unique, and you started doing it, and perhaps you suddenly look in another direction and go, no, I need to veer course. Because if I'm going to be truly unique, if I'm going to truly offer something absolutely independent, unique, outside of the box, unusual, within my career, I have to kind of veer off a little bit. That's a good thing to do. A very good thing, Aries. 11th house is groups of people, friends, for example, who share a common idea or share a common understanding or something that you're all interested in. So that's why we say teams or groups or people who share your ideology. You might find that you're growing more independent of that, or you're not overstressed or over worried about friends and groups of people. I don't know why you would be. Were you worried about large groups of people, teams, societies, social media, the internet? Yes, didn't you kick off there in January with issues, building websites, getting into technology, doing stuff on social media? And there's a moment where you might, it's like, take the pressure off a little bit. Whatever it is you're developing, whatever it is you're doing with a group of people, perhaps on social media, take the pressure off. It's like, I'm taking it too seriously. I think I need to just enjoy myself a bit more, relax, inject a bit of fun back into it, lightheartedness, humour. And you are funny, Aries. You are good-humoured, so that's no bad thing. I'll also say this, there's a humanitarian element to the full moon lunar eclipse being in the 11th house. There could come a time where you had been it's almost, maybe there's a moment where you can be more generous with your sense of spirituality, more generous with your time, more generous with helping friends, or more generous with large groups of people, or sharing a little bit more, maybe, on your social media things, or websites, whatever it is you're doing, just being a little bit more generous in some way, and that seems to bring a type of success. But remember to do it in a very relaxed and humorous way, my love. Okay, so we begin with the cards. Hopefully you're seeing the overview there. We begin with the Page of Pentacles. Sure, something is really kicking off here, it seems, with your money. You're focused on your career. We always talk about this because it's the truth. You have been let down so many times in your career that you're really taking shit seriously now, Aries, and you're not allowing yourself to fall back into that sense of nothingness. You're pushing, and I love that. And here we see you, maybe this month, beginning to see some rewards coming back from that. Maybe something you're doing that, maybe you're getting cash from it. You're beginning to see the payoff, certainly. And like him, it's almost like you've come through the worst of fighting for your purpose, fighting to get out there, fighting to make money. You've come through the worst of it. You've kind of surrendered and let it go and said, well, I'm just going to keep doing my thing and see where the gods take me. But it seems that they are taking you further. 11th house, house of the heavens, house of the gods. God's granting you new money to play with, a new toy to play with, certainly. You're holding it up and you're saying, oh my God, I forgot what this looked like. Is this money? Yeah, it's money. And it's money coming to you. It's money coming to Aries, the Aries card. Money being held up and said, oh Aries, I bow down before thee and here is your gold. And Aries is saying, yeah, keep it coming, bring it on, I want more. So yeah, the gold is coming to you. And it's helping you to build your empire. Don't we often talk about this, Aries? You're doing something within your career. You're taking it seriously and you're wanting to build an empire that will carry you into the future and give you long-range financial success. It begins. So it begins. We've only just begun. And you have. But remember, you're beginning. And acknowledge that and celebrate it. This seems to be a month of parties. If you're getting your first paycheck this month from a new career, if you're getting the first money from a raise or something, a project that you're completing perhaps with a team of people this month, pop open the champagne, really celebrate this. Because we know you haven't had a lot to celebrate for a while. Don't get me crying again, Aries. Don't do it. But you haven't. But this month it begins. So every little mini triumph where somebody holds up something and says, look what I've done. Like you saying, look what I've done. Celebrate it. And when money comes in for what you're doing, celebrate it. I love that, Aries. I love that you've appeared in your own spread. Yeah, I like it. But then, just as I said, money is coming and it's helping you now to really change, to change your future direction. You believe more in the magic potential of making money. But when it comes, your first reaction is, hold it. You see, the moon in Capricorn there might be doing that too, quite a Capricorn card here. And it's like, don't go crazy spending your money. Don't rush out and buy the first thing that you see. I spoke to an Aries recently and they were very, very, very tempted with the last bit of money they had before the next money arrived, which was quite some time. They happened to wander into what do you call it, a TV store, multimedia store, you know, one of those stores. So a really ridiculously expensive TV and said, yeah, I'll use the last of my money to buy that. It's like, no, this month Aries, there is the Capricorn influence of you going, stop wasting your money. You're only just receiving it. It's only just starting to really kick off for you. Go be a bit smarter with your money. Hold back a little bit. Now, you don't have to be like this guy who's holding everything super tightly. You don't have to get mean or count your pennies. You know those people that when you go to the supermarket and you're at the cashier and they count out their pennies one by one? Patience. So don't be that person. Don't be them. Instead, know that there's a new flow happening for you when it comes to your money. That give a little, take a little, spend a little, save a little. Get used to this, baby. Get used to it. And it'll be fun. You will get used to it very quickly. Now, this card can also say that you're holding something very close to your chest. Sitting beside the Aries card. Aries, you're holding what closely beside your chest? Holding information, not disclosing something, keeping something quiet. And one thing that you could be keeping quiet is that you want to really move on, move ahead. Maybe within your career, you have to keep your head down and keep quiet because you want to move on, because you could have gotten a new offer of another job. Yeah. Or maybe you're just keeping your head down because with the moon in the 10th house, they're probably asking you to step out under pressure. Can you do this, Aries? We need you to do this. And you're saying, oh, keep your head down. Maybe they'll walk past me and not see me. I'm out of here. Either way, there is that element of you keeping something a secret, perhaps. And the secret could be that you are moving home, Sun in the 4th house. Moving away, moving on, moving away from a group of people, moving away from a team, from a society, from closing all your social media accounts, perhaps. What else could you be moving towards? Moving to change your career is possible. But here we have this card. Now, look, we start off the month great with money, where you're feeling that money is starting to grow. It's propping you up, it's giving you energy, you feel invigorated by it. And then you start holding tightly onto your money. And then comes this feeling of being left out, being out in the cold, rejected. Now here's an interesting thing. Okay, I'll go with this. Mars, your ruler, Mars, is retrograding in Aquarius in the 11th house. And then the lunar eclipse is also in the 11th house. Now, the 11th house sometimes represents the winner's circle, the elites, the core group, the ones that are the big players, the top players of this game of life in your career. And you recognize that they're all in here and you're out there. And there'll be a kind of a moment where you will look at yourself, look at your life, look at how much money you have, see your bank balance starting to, okay, I wanted more zeros at the end of that figure, not at the front of that figure. But there is that moment where you start getting energized again. You start saying, okay, I want to be in with a kind of an inner circle, or the high earners, the high rollers. You want to go to the next level in your career. You want to go to the next floor, to the boardroom perhaps. So you want to move up. And somewhere in July you see the disparity. You see how you're outside and they're in there. And because you get to see that, it gives you this fire to push. Lots of communication, lots of emails, lots of writing things, lots of networking, lots of putting all your energy into getting out of feeling like you're on the outside and you're putting it full steam ahead to get onto the inside, okay? But in doing that, what might happen is a little bit of a crisis. And don't panic. This is a natural flow of how it's going to be. It's almost like you're desperate to get ahead within some group, society, social media, with friends. You want to push into your future. And it's that energy of pushing so much that finally breaks something in you. It could be inside or outside. And the break comes when you go, calm down. Really, I've just been overdoing this. I've just been overthinking this. I've been putting too much pressure on getting to the future. I've been putting too much pressure on trying to make my dreams and wishes and desires come true. I've been pushing too hard. And now comes the collapse. Sudden, unexpected things. Lunar eclipse in the 11th house of your future plans. Suddenly seeming like they're here. And you're like, well, what the hell do I do now? What do I do now? And I tell you what you do now. You watch this card carefully. You will see that this is like the Tower of Babel. It is not built on steady ground. It was a false structure trying to meet the heavens. And then it got struck down by lightning and everything just crashed because it was a false structure. And that's you, Aries, in your effort and bid to try to rise up, to try to build a structure around you, to rise up to the heavens. It wasn't built on a very solid foundation. And this is why your ruler Mars is going retrograde, to say, let there be no panic, Aries. Follow me, come back, take a few steps back. Remember why you're doing this. You're doing this to build your future. So don't make it out of straw or Lego. Build it from something solid and secure. It's not a race. If you see somebody in your career getting ahead of you, it's their time perhaps. And don't feel like, why are they getting ahead and I'm left on the outside? I'm putting in all this effort and they're still passing me by. Why is that now? Why is that? Hello, hello. And Mars going retrograde is saying, follow me. We are going back. We are going back to a time when you had a better plan and a better understanding of why you started doing the things that you do, why you started your creative projects, why you maybe changed your career path, why you entered a relationship, why you moved home to where you are now perhaps. And now it's saying, we'll go back and we'll start again from the beginning in some way. Without any great sense of loss, by the way, but almost like rewind, 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 start again, so that when the first lightning strike that comes hits your tower, it won't knock it down, baby. Because you'll be built on something more solid. The moon in Capricorn at the start of the month is saying the same to you in the 10th house. This career, this life that you're making, your future plans and dreams, it's got to be rock solid and rock steady. Yeah, because this is not the rock that you want to perish on. Sorry, Aries, I got cut out there. Yeah, anyway, so I want to show you the next card. The next card is the Empress, and every emperor needs an Empress to complete the matching set. It's your empire. Mars, Venus in an earth sign. This is what this card means. And Venus is in an earth sign. On July 10th, she moves into Virgo in the 6th house. So the union here that we're trying to see is that Mars is saying, we're going back to tidy things up and clean things up. And we're going to take the advice from her. And what is the Empress? The wise woman saying here? Well, she's saying go back and reorganize your plans, make a new plan and get a structure together with your work life, with your career. If you find that you don't have a schedule, a proper working schedule, you might need to go and address that, Aries, because otherwise you might find that you're losing power, losing energy. He's saying, look, if you want to get the best of this as I'm going retrograde, listen to her. And that's exactly what she's saying. Take care of your health, take care of your diet, take care of your body. If you're moving ahead now with your career, you've got to look good, stay fit, stay sharp, stay keen, eat well. and certainly get your structures together, your plans together. It might be a wonderful time now with you having this energy of being at home a little bit to use some of that time to really draw up a proper schedule of work. If some of you are working at home, then nail it down. What are your working hours? It's very easy to work from home and to do everything a bit here and a bit there and get distracted, and then at the last minute go, oh my God, it's that time already and I have nothing done. Treat this seriously. Treat your work life, home life seriously, and get a proper schedule going on. For those of you with children, the issue of going to work and then organising childcare, picking them up from school, from wherever, that's something now that needs a proper schedule. And she's saying the same thing here, okay? Venus in Virgo is also, it's just a nice energy where it gets you flowing a little better in how to analyse your future, how to observe some of the things that are happening in your career that ultimately helps you to avoid pitfalls. Because she comes after it, she says, you know, these pitfalls, they could have been avoided if you had a plan, you know. If you had a schedule, a diary, where every hour of your day is taken into consideration, where you schedule fun, where you schedule proper eating times. All of this is all very, very important, you know. Even if you're studying, I always assume career. I know some of you are studying. It's the same thing. Treat your study carefully. Take time out to eat properly. Take time out to give it a proper schedule. All right? Now, as we come towards the end of the month, here we see strong competition. And you holding your ground under strong competition. And you're well able. Any other sign, I would kind of feel sorry for them under this type of pressure. But Aries, this is what motivates you. You don't like bad feeling. You don't like bad shit happening around you. But you're certainly interested in having a bit of healthy competition. It spurs you on. It moves you on. So if somebody thinks they're teasing you or tormenting you or saying, oh, Lala, look where I am and you're not here, doesn't matter. Because what they don't realise is that's gasoline for you. It's like pouring down a gallon of Red Bull. Challenge me, an Aries. Are you for fucking serious? Yeah, that's what you're saying. So it's the challenge is on, and you are certainly able to rise to meet it. And you are able to rise to meet it with a sense of power. And as you're rising to meet this challenge, you're given new truths, you're given new ideas, certainly ideas. This is a logical card, this is an air card to do with the mind, things that can be created and things that can be formed. So this is what you are doing. You're forming something out of making, I could say you're making something out of nothing, but that's not quite the energy. It is, whatever it is you're creating or doing also, Aries, there is that element of uniqueness to it. Somebody is challenging you. I bet you can't create something unique. I bet you can't create something that's cutting edge. Did you like that? Did you like that? Yeah. I bet you can't create something cutting edge. And again, Aries says, okay, there's the challenge. Challenge accepted, cutting edge. I'm going to do more than that. I am going to get on my horse and I'm going to run with this cutting edge thing, because this is far, far, far you in your total element. This is a very much an Aries style card, raring to go, chomping at the bit. So whatever it is in your relationships, in your career, when you get this kind of little kickstart where somebody tries to motivate you by trying to compete with you a little bit, you will have the cutting edge, you will cut through. And of course the universe and the heavens are on your side this month with the stuff in the 11th house. And there you are, on your horse. Just try not to be on your high horse, Aries. We don't want you on high horses. But you are running towards the end of the month. What are you running towards? Yeah, you're running towards this. You're running towards feeling that your empire is growing. Okay, so there's the big seat. This is the elite seat, and there is another elite seat. And at the end of the month, you'll be getting a little, not quite the elite seat, but getting something that's very comfortable for you. Something that reminds you that you have to do something from your heart. Fifth house, doing it all from the heart, doing it all from a sense of play, doing it all because you enjoy what you're doing. In relationships, it's the same. In family issues, it's the same. You do the things you do because you enjoy it. Now, this is quite a Neptunian card for me. Neptune and Pisces in the 12th house. So there is also this element now of you're leaving something else behind. I like this with you, Aries. Every now and then I see this. It's like you gather up big chunks of old shit, old karma, old things that you want to leave behind, and you throw it out. And this is a month, at the very end of the month, that you're very happy to spring clean, tidy up some emotional baggage, psychological baggage, and spring clean it and not worry about it after that. Instead, to celebrate with a little cup, a little glass of something. Yeah, a cup and a weird thing. I don't know what that is. Yeah, anyway, he's celebrating with a cup, a glass of wine, and that's what I want you to do this month, Aries. I want you to remember that you should have fun, and you should enjoy this month, and that you should take part, but relax. Do it out of a sense of fun. Yeah. I see something here too. There might be a water, just to change it up a bit and go a different tack here. There's you, a fire element, turning your back on a water element. Could you be turning your back, Aries, on a Cancer, on a Scorpio, or on a Pisces, leaving it behind? Not necessarily falling out, just saying goodbye, leaving something behind. Yeah, could be that. The new truth that comes here, if there's a conflict, if there's a kind of a competition that gets a little bit messy and out of hand, sure, you have a stick to take part in this kind of competition, but the universe also has your back. It's kind of saying, if this shit gets out of hand, don't forget that I'm here also to cut through that, as the gods are always on your side. Earth, Venus in Earth, some very earthy, coming down to earth. Could also be a Taurus. Any other influences? Well, of course, we have the big influence of you there, Mars, the Aries card. So that's it, Aries. That seems to be the general theme and idea of the month. Seems to be what's going on. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I will just say, if this is the first time watching my videos, then please subscribe. Join me on Facebook, on She Bear Tarot. I'm on Twitter and Instagram too. We have a little community going on there, and I'd love you to come and join in. And in the meantime, for everybody else, I am going to leave you with all my love as always, and a great big full fat kiss. Mwah! Love you, Aries. See you next month. Bye.